Just like in the previous week, a lot of hot and trending soccer stories happened in our beloved Atlanta, Georgia. We are happy and proud to welcome you to your favorite online soccer show, Atlanta Soccer News. Let's start the week on a good note, as Major League Soccer announced on July 15 that Dominic Chonka, a defender for Atlanta United Academy, has been awarded the MLS Next Rising Star of Match Week 18. Last night's 2-2 draw and shootout triumph over Columbus Crew 2 saw Chonka score his second goal in 2 games on his debut start. Within his 4th game with ATL UTD2, Chonka secured a starting 11 berth after scoring his first goal as a professional in the encounter against the New York Red Bulls 2 during match week 17. The 16-year-old left-back played the entire 90 minutes against Columbus Crew 2, scoring Atlanta's second goal of the game to give the hosts a late lead. After passing the ball through the midfield and finding Chonka running towards the back post, Argentine midfielder Maciel Gallardo threaded a pass into the box to the left-back, who calmly slid a shot under the keeper for a 2-1 lead in the 84th minute. On Tuesday, we learned that Emma Hayes, the head coach of the U.S. women's national team, observed improvements in her squad's final third decision-making during Saturday's 1-0 victory over Mexico at Red Bull Arena, but she still believes there is room for improvement. Hayes' third game as head coach of the United States was the team's penultimate pre-Olympic game and its first with the lineup that will travel to France the following week to try and win the program's first Olympic gold medal since 2012. If we use the CONCACAF Gold Cup as a reference point, I think it's fair to say this game was much more measured, much more controlled, Hayes told the press. We limited them to very little, so it's a step in the right direction. Less than 5 months have passed since Mexico's historic 2-0 triumph over the USWNT in the CONCACAF Gold Cup group stage, the Americans' first defeat by Mexico on home soil. In a more controlled contest on Saturday, the USWNT held 70% of the ball and prevented Mexico from generating the counterattack opportunities that had allowed the visitors to win the Gold Cup. According to Hayes, small details make the difference between Saturday's 1-0 outcome and a greater victory margin. She called attention to little things like positioning oneself to see where the goalkeeper is before shooting. You only have to see from just an XG perspective at the end of the game, it's 2-point-something and should be much bigger because for the chances we've created, we're not hitting the frame enough, Hayes stated. I still think that's something to add, but I think the difference in momentum from the first half to the second half was even bigger for us. With fewer than 2 weeks to prepare for the Olympics, Hayes and company want to avoid becoming the first team in program history to lose both a major tournament cycle and a World Cup. In a penalty shootout versus Sweden in the round of 16, the USWNT was ousted from the World Cup the previous year. Already, the Americans have had to adjust. This past Friday, Hayes and U.S. Soccer declared that striker Lynn Williams had taken the place of midfielder Catarina Macario, who had been part of the initial 18-player Olympic roster. Macario, who underwent an ACL tear in 2022, is currently experiencing knee irritation after returning to action. On Wednesday, the U.S. women's soccer team played their final exhibition match before the Paris Olympics, ending in a 0-0 stalemate with Costa Rica. Kickoff temperatures in Washington, D.C., were 98 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 degrees Celsius. A few hours earlier, it was 104 degrees Celsius, which tied the record for the hottest day in the nation's capital. Considering that almost this much heat is predicted for the team's next match in Marseille later this month, coach Emma Hayes thought it would be a good test for her players. Hayes stated, "That's added value. It's perfect preparation. It's pretty hot down there, so this is a great opportunity for us to experience what we're going to face." Due to leg discomfort during warm-ups, Rose Lavelle was forced to scratch the game later than planned because of it. The team decided it was not worth the risk in this particular situation. Lavelle was okay, according to a team representative. For the game at Audi Field, which drew 18,972 spectators and was played on a dilapidated field damaged by previous rugby, football, and soccer matches, Corbin Albert started in place of Lavelle. Throughout the game, the United States had numerous opportunities, but Costa Rican goalie Noelia Bermudez, who once collided with Trinity Rodman in the first half, consistently stopped them. Despite going down and receiving medical assistance, every player continued to play on the field. Costa Rica, which was eliminated from the Olympics, tended to sit back and only had 2 shots on goal, but the United States was constantly attacking. Following a ceremony for the send-off match, the Americans are scheduled to depart for Paris on Wednesday, where they will play their Olympic debut against Zambia in Nice on July 25. Group play concludes with matches in Marseille against Germany on July 28 and against Australia on July 31. On Thursday, we learned that a record 56 players from the National Women's Soccer League will represent their respective countries on the world stage for the Paris Olympics. With more players than any other league in the world, NWSL athletes make up about 25% of the Olympic player pool. The record representation of the NWSL follows a number of calculated strategic actions taken over the last 12 months to solidify the league's standing as the premier international destination for elite players. These actions include raising the salary cap for the 2024 season, increasing the number of international roster slots, and making additional investments in critical business and sporting functions like media, coaching, and commercials. Notably, this year's event will have representation from each NWSL team, demonstrating the amount of quality available in the league. Furthermore, over half of the NWSL's first-time Olympic competitors are 24 years of age or younger, demonstrating the league's continued appeal as a destination for up-and-coming players and the next wave of talent. On Friday, we ended the week on a sad note as Atlanta United announced that it had permanently moved defender Aiden McFadden to Louisville City FC of the USL Championship. Since April, McFadden has been on loan to the USL Championship team, and the club has exercised its option to buy him out. The 25-year-old, who played at Notre Dame University, was selected by Atlanta in the 2021 MLS Superdraft. McFadden made 12 starts for ATL UTD2 last season and scored 1 goal. This season, he started 1 game for Atlanta United 2 in MLS Next Pro when he played 70 minutes against Orlando City B. McFadden had 11 appearances for Atlanta's first team in 2022, 8 of which were starts. The secondary transfer window for Major League Soccer began on July 18 and ends on Wednesday, August 14. On July 20th, Atlanta United, 6-11-7, 25 points, will play its next match at Mercedes-Benz Stadium against Columbus Crew, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Apple TV, 92.9 The Game, La Mejor. If you have an MLS Season Pass membership, you can watch every Atlanta United game via the Apple TV app. It's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make it a habit to watch our weekly report and soccer stories posted on our website at https://atlantazoccr.news. Until next time.